insurance. I was selling financial insurance, like life insurance. Um, that led me into real estate as well. And I was doing security. Yeah, so I've had so many hats throughout my experience of, working jobs. But the way I got into tech sales was I watched a video with Cyrus and Anthony O'Neill, and you know they mentioned course careers and how affordable it can be to get into tech sales. So it really piqued my interest, and then I started just doing a whole bunch of research on tech sales and what it has to entail. And I even came across some of your videos, Trent.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Subscribe now.
Oh yeah, definitely subscribed. Um, but yeah, I love the content that you put out. It really makes the playing field like super simple. Like as long as you're putting in the effort, you can
That's it.
excel. And I like the fact that tech sales includes a base salary and the commission.
Mm.
So it's not just purely commission. Um, so I really like that fact. So that's really what piqued my interest in. I only found out about tech sales in towards the end of November, surprisingly.
And speaking of putting in the work, first and foremost, you might be the most versatile person I've spoken with in a while. Doing security, selling tools at Home Depot, selling houses on the weekends, and then now you're now
You're funny.
now you're selling tech. But you were telling me once we were getting started, Derry, that you made 85 calls today. You were like, I was putting the work on the phones. I'm like, how many calls you make? You're like 85. I'm like, okay, when we get to 100, now we're starting to push it. How did that feel making 85 calls today? Because I imagine you've been ramping your way up here, trying to figure it out.
Well, so this was my first week actually being on the floor sourcing leads. So it felt much better than I would say yesterday, because yesterday I was at 75 calls. So
Mm,
I'm every day trying to prep myself to make more calls, to at least be at a bare minimum 100 calls
let's
a day.
go.
Yes.
Let's go. Well,
But yeah, it's
that's what we
great.
need. That's what we need to get to. What was it about? I know everyone mentions Cyrus. Everyone mentions this Anthony O'Neill.
Yes.
Apparently, they're the figureheads of tech sales and course careers and all that. But what was it about tech sales that drew you in? Because you were doing real estate at a real company. You were doing
Right.
some other things as well. You got a lot of options. Why tech sales?
So what brought me into tech sales, I invest in big tech, well, like Google, Amazon, Facebook, all of them. So when I found out about the industry tech sales, it really piqued my interest because tech is a very big industry and it's very innovative. The tech is going to be here forever. So it really made sense for me to at least give it a shot and really learn more about tech sales, because I wanted to get into tech, but I wasn't quite sure which part of tech I wanted to be in. And tech sales just seemed like the best fit because I already have a background in sales. And, we're really just talking to people on the phone. And
Hmm.
this is similar to what I do with real estate. So it just kind of fit like a glove for me to just, really dive more into tech sales.
And then when you were starting to learn about tech sales, you were probably confronted with the question, well, I've got sales experience, but I don't necessarily have tech experience. So how do I break in? And then that leads us to course careers, which we'll talk a bit about here today. But how did you discover course careers and how did that help impact your trajectory to set you up for success?
Well, in terms of how did I find course careers, like I said before, Cyrus and Anthony O'Neill really kind of set the playing field for at least the name drop. That was when I first heard of course careers. Um, and I did some research on Careerist and the other, or Coursera as well. But course careers just felt like the most affordable and fastest way to get into
Hmm.
tech. And, you know, when I look back on it, I'm really glad that I chose Course Careers because the community is like amazing. Like, there's so many people a part of Course Careers that you could lean on for advice and tips and really get your foot in the door in terms of tech sales. So I really believe, you know, Course Careers is the real reason I'm here now.